Hello, welcome to Gold Speed Studios, home of Progressive Outsider Art in Ormond Beach, Florida. I am Bohemian alchemist Scott William Goldie. How I came to the idea through Ron Wolotsky and his alien faces that he painted on his horseshoe crabs, but that's how I got the idea. I liked it so much. And they ranged in size, and some of them were, basketball size. In that general area, most of them were around that size, and they were all these little alien faces. The horseshoe crab shell, as you can see, is easily made into a really fantastic fantasy sci-fi alien head. So the idea, as you can see, was to put a tiger face on the shell itself. I don't recall whether the bottom part broke off by itself or I broke it off. I think I actually broke it off to be able to fit at least somewhat what I was trying to do here. You can kind of, I'm going to figure out how to turn this around. I'm going to stop now on Wolotsky's. You can see the side, how I've actually pushed this back about 1.5 inches or so. But it gave me room to be able to put the fangs on, the teeth and the fangs. And they do the lower jaw here, the tongue, little teeth. Be able to put that on there and have it reasonably look like a tiger's face. You can see I put a piece of wood in there so it can hang on something flat. Put a piece of wood going across here to hold the lower jaw on. What I did was, you can't see it behind here, but there's a dowel that I glued on the lower jaw, and I drilled a hole in this piece of wood, stuck the dowel up through there, and then drilled another hole through it and put, you might be able to tell, it's just a grape. It's just a pencil. And it's not that I coat it with sand and then I come back over and paint it later on. These are all different color sand. You can buy at many hobby shops or on websites. So I'll show you some of the differences. First of all, I modeled it after a Florida Panther. The colors, maybe you might look at it and go, it's a little orangey, but it's not bad. Or maybe it's not gold enough. The color's not perfect, but it's good enough for this. Don't say it isn't. So these were the little spikes that are on this one that fell off of that one that I made the fangs out of it on that one. And you can see on the little one that Wolotsky did over there, all the little tiny little sharp spikes coming off of it. So when I said, Scott, leave those spikes on there, they look good, and we'll make the teeth out of balsa wood, because I remember the tediousness of trying to build those little spikes up into the fangs there. So I said, I'll carve them out of balsa wood. So the middle teeth are pretty much the same. I whittled them out of thin strips of balsa wood, and then I took these square 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square pieces of balsa wood and carved them into the teeth here, glued everything together. The little lip area I actually formed out of sculpting clay. And the tongue also I did as sculpting clay. Whereas over here I built the tongue up with sand alone, and you can see that there's, I don't know, it's almost a 1/2 inch thick there in the middle, but at least 3/8 of an inch. And like I said, building that tongue up and those teeth were time consuming. It probably did take a couple weeks before I had the teeth and the tongue done the way I wanted to. In this case I did something completely different, in a different way. In fact, not only that, if you looked at that one, you'll notice how the shell kind of curved back down towards this area right here. What I did on this is I took more sculpting clay and I made little flat, two little triangles here and a little ridge here. So I actually padded up that part of the shell, and then I was able to put the teeth back in a little deeper compared to, they're attached in the same spot. It's just they look deeper because I built this up a little bit with clay. Once again, the ears were just shaped out of balsa wood, and I just slowly built up these front edges. Now the back, and the bottom jaw and the top jaw are attached the same way. Did the exact same thing. I glued a dowel in the bottom one, and then I put in this structure that was actually like along the plane of the shell. You can probably see a little better. The plane of the shell, and inside I had built all that. Not only did I put this piece in here, I put another piece in here, in which I'll kind of fortify this up a little bit with some screws and nails, because it's just a balsa wood, but I think it's pretty strong anyway. It's just a 1/2 inch by 2, both of these pieces. Got them glued in, the wood glue. This is exactly how I did the other one. Put a dowel in here. It's a little bit different because I put the dowel in just a slightly different position. It's glued in, but I'm going to fortify that a little bit more, brace it up a little bit more. And that, I'll drill a hole in this bottom board here, and that's what will hold it all together. The dowel will go up through the hole, and then when it gets up through there, I'll drill a hole in the dowel, put a nail through it. So all you have to do is take the nail out. You'll be able to separate them if you wanted to move them, or for whatever reason I'm doing that. That's how I'm doing it. Don't know why. It just seemed reasonable to me at the time. Okay, enough of that. Thinking that was going to be good enough, then when I started fooling around with putting the jaw on the bottom and trying to get the teeth aligned and make sure the bottom jaw wasn't sticking out too far, I realized that I had to really pad out the back, so I had to pad out the back about 1.5 inches or so. So it hangs off the wall about 1.5 inches, whereas the lower jaw hits, when it's hanging, hits, kind of like what you're seeing here, that actually hits the wall, and these back parts hit the wall. And that way I was able to really give a wide open mouth of a tiger. It's not the eye of a tiger, it's the mouth of a tiger that's the real scare. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that. Spent a lot of time and energy on those, I guess you can tell. Pretty happy with the outcome of both of them. Okay, the last but most important thing I like to say on these videos is glory goes up to the Lord Almighty, the Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. I thank Him for giving me the time and the talent to do my art, and the purpose for glorifying Him. This is my purpose in this world, is to do my art to glorify God. That is why I'm here. Thank you. See you later.